Wow.
Wow.
Poisonous mood in the air. There's just a poisonous vibe in the air. Dude.
No. What do you mean?
Not you.
Oh.
No. Come on.
I just thought you felt tired. That's all.
Oh, no. I don't know. Trust me. I actually am.
The tired accusations are handled like a kid. You ever
What
tell
are
a
you
little
talking
kid they're
about?
tired? They're like, no. Like, it's almost bedtime.
Yo, dude.
Nuh-uh.
Come on.
But we have bigger fish to fry.
Exactly.
We'll get to the Letterman jacket, obviously. Don't think we haven't. If we're ignoring that. But I needed a spitter just now because I'm going to dip. It's the Patreon. I can dip.
Obviously.
And I just happened to know that there was. I've never been over there. I've never been over there once.
Did you? You didn't know? You didn't know
I've
there was
never
trash?
been over there once. I
telling
said,
me you
isn't there a pile of trash around you, Lemaire? Sure enough, there's piles of trash back there.
You said that, and I looked, and I sure enough saw a bunch of empty bottles.
It's just bottles. It's just
I will say this. Billy did inform me. He said, if you want to get in Lemaire's ass, there's literally just piles of trash.
These are my bottles. The rest of the bottles are their bottles.
How many bottles?
It's always somebody else's fault, huh?
Hold on. You drank the Gatorade. The Gatorade bottle's yours.
yours.
Gatorade. I'm drinking Gatorades and waters when I'm in here, boys. I'm usually clean, you know.
Gatorades aren't not. They're bad for you.
Yeah.
Gatorade's very bad for
It was
you.
one Gatorade, 3 waters, you know.
Man, what a trick Gatorade played.
They had me.
I thought
going.
for sure. I was like, I'm an athlete. I'll just chug it. It's soda.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just sugar.
All Sport kind of blew.
All Sport
got greedy, and they're like, "Let's add bubbles." And then everyone's like, "No, hold, time out."
Yeah, like I'm not drinking soda.
Come on, man.
Come on.
So yes, Lemaire, you shouldn't leave trash in people's houses.
So yeah, Lemaire, you've just been piling up trash over there.
Despicable.
That's crazy. And it took somebody having to say something. Otherwise, that trash would have been out of control.
No, it wouldn't have got out of control. What was happening in my head was like, oh, I'll bring a garbage bag next week and I'll
Yeah,
get it
sure.
out. I swear, I promise.
You were gonna bring a garbage bag of 1 week.
Yes, I was.
That's
why
how you
not
handle
just throw it in
things.
the trash can?
Huh?
Why not just throw it in the trash? It's the trash can.
I don't know.
All right. Well, I mean,
All right. Yeah.
I'm not
Sorry.
gonna pull your feet to the
Yeah.
fire. Too bad.
I don't know what it is. I don't know how to like approach your brother.
True. I guess, truthfully, I'll give you that. From Lemaire's perspective, that would be a daunting task.
Yeah. Where's the trash can?
Just Billy coming in dressed like American History X every day. Really, tucked in T-shirt into yeah,
Jacked.
jacked.
Yeah,
Jacked, tucked
I can
in
see that.
T-shirt, belt, cargo pants.
Yeah, I could see it feeling kind of weird just having to like interact with some dude's house. Just be like, how do I do this? Shut the fuck up. But Billy's not like Billy's a nice guy.
Billy's a great
I
guy,
can hear
but
you, yeah.
pardon me.
There's a part of me that like doesn't want to like ask someone where their bathroom is. Sometimes I'm like, what if somebody's up there?
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "What are you taking a crap?"
Yeah. There's a part of me that is kind of uneasy about that. Like when we were in the tour bus, and you're like, "Can I pee?" I was like, "Thank God Shane asked you. I didn't want to." Ask
Yeah. That
it's
was
like,
uncomfortable.
okay.
That was a whole uncomfortable. There is uncomfortable scenarios like that where I'll go meet somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll just I'll just meet. Like that was kind of the first time me and Nate have really like sat and hung out. Like
Yeah.
I've been around him with other people, but like it's almost like an embassy type. Like it's like a meeting of two. Just like, here, you two sit and talk.
Yeah.
There's like outside people involved. They're like, all right, is he clear to go in? Bring him in.
That was
And then
crazy.
you just sit down.
Yeah.
And you're like, how are you?
I said that, dude, just getting to the point where, because a lot of times too, I'm always like wondering, like, what's the point of like, if you were to get like, to get big and do all this stuff, as soon as you spend enough money, you're like, oh, what's this? Having people communicate about you all day with the walkie-talkies, that's something I could get into.
That's something we need.
I'm just being like, there's guys just knowing, waking up and hearing like, shh, he's up. I'm like, fuck yes, dude,
Yeah.
this fucking rules.
Dude, as soon as we got
Just
dropped
having
off.
people be like, he's up. Just being people like official people being
Yeah.
concerned with me would feel good.
Yeah. As soon
sure.
as we got dropped off, there were eyes on us.
Oh, I do, 100%.
We got
hooked.
dropped off. They were two different dudes. Like they're approaching the
Dude.
side entrance.
There's 2 levels. We had to go through the one guy.
Yeah.
There was just like RPG. The one guy was just like,
He was having a tough time. The first guy, there was a young lad.
yep.
He's a lad working the parking.
Well, I think they were double dipping. He was just a part. He was this guy, like, and
Yeah.
they were like,
and then
oh,
we got
you're on
out.
security
and it was
detail.
like,
And he was like,
no, this. He's like, I told you this. And we're like, no, we're gonna get out here. And he's like, but I did this. How could you ever be getting out? So then he got on a walkie-talkie. He was like, they're not listening.
I did the windmill counterclockwise.
And he
he's
said
going
they're
clockwise.
friends with the guy.
I mean, what a nightmare, though. if you're there, like you got one job to do, nobody obviously is coming up to bother you, and then it's like, hey, there's these dudes out there that say they know they know the guy. It's like the guy we're walking about. It's like yeah,
they said they know him.
It's like what are you gonna? Either you're like you can't just be like okay, go ahead.
You can't just let assassins.
Exactly.
Although an assassin got in my weekend at Helium, just a dude just walked in the green room.
What the fuck is that about?
Drunk Easer.
Because we don't have anyone with walkie-talkies.
Drunk Easer walked in, and it was great. The Woodman sprung to action.
Did he?
And he was just like, citizen. He said citizen. He called him a citizen. I think what he tried to say was civilians, which is, I'm not trying to crush the Woodman, but if I was gay as shit as you could say in that moment of being like, civilians can't be back here because we were in a green room. But anyway, he said citizen. He was like, citizen, you can't.
That's actually hilarious.
And I was like, who are you, fucking Judge Dredd? What are you doing?
To be fair, thank God, dude. Someone tried to bull rush. Someone vampired the green room. I think you had left, and it was the last night. And I was like I was like, hey, I'm gonna come out and say what's up. And he was like, can I come in? And I was like,
oh, it's crazy. Yeah, they do vampire
hard. You can't. And he was like,
they can't come in.
He was doing. I said no, and he just vamped out and like craned around. He looked in. And I was like, dude, I'm like, I don't care.
The drunk guy from Georgia tried to vampire. The guy with the mullet.
Oh yeah.
I let my friends in. Penn State running back, not a big deal. He didn't score in the Rose Bowl. That was a big letdown when I found that out. When I let him into vampire, the vampire from Georgia, he drove the whole way. He probably flew. Yeah. Now that I think about
it, or just went
vampire fly. Yeah, that's what I meant.
They run fast. They just go.
No, he claimed to drive. I guarantee you just. But he was
now you
like,
get me in my originals bag.
I know.
Come on now.
You got a high school jacket
Riverdale,
on.
Baby.
You probably feel it. I know you've been ripping river.
No, this is when it was so cold. That we got in there, it was freezing, so I hit a thrift store to get a sweater, and we saw this. I let it up. I was like, dude, I have to, dude.
That's the one thing that sucks about being a big guy. I saw that, and I was like, please be fucking double X. This is a normal person size. I was just like, Matt, you got to buy this.
Quarterback size.
I got to give Matt the coolest.
This is the quarterback.
I got to give Matt the coolest jacket I've ever seen. Matt, you should buy this and wear it and make it your thing. Even though I picked it out and saw it.
It's true. I was like, I'm not wearing that.
I was like, dude, wear a Letterman jacket.
Well, I was drawn to it at first, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that. And as soon as I do it, I was like, oh, I thought it was a bad idea.
No, Letterman jacket rules.
Yeah, it's pretty tight, dude. I'm a pretty big fan. It's like very enjoyable how much my wife hates this. Like this bothers her deeply when I walk in.
That would piss anybody.
When I walk in with my Letterman.
First off, if I didn't know you, that would make. If I saw someone wearing that, I'd be furious. It would change my day.
I know.
I'd be like going about my day. Yo, how about when I said, dude, you remember when I said cheers on stage? Yeah. That was just for you. Somebody in the crowd bought me a beer, and I drank. I was like, oh, thanks. Cheers, everybody. And as soon as I said, I was like, can't believe I just said cheers. That's the gayest shit ever.
They kept going, cheers. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Oh, cheers, guys. Yo, cheers.
Oh, my God.
And the audience was just like,
what the fuck?
Take it easy, man.
Oh, I started laughing.
You're being pretty hard on yourself. I was like, that's literally just for Matt.
I started laughing fucking hard.
Only Matt knows how much of a fucking psycho I am about myself, like, being perceived as gay. Like, you have no idea the rest of the show. I'm going to be in my head just like, fucking cheers.
Oh, it's so fucking funny. Like, hey, guys, cheers. Did I really just say fucking cheers? Cheers, guys. Okay, cheers. Just like it was like a 30-second break. The crowd was just like,
yeah.
Come on, man. I can see them being like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
Or a lot of people will say like, hey, cheers, man.
Of course, it's very normal to get a drink and say, if somebody buys you a drink, be like, oh, cheers.
Cheers. I had a weird quirk.
I was just saying it to the crowd.
The phrase "no worries" bothers me.
No worries. Yeah, they're all fucking like British terms.
Or they are British. There's a very West Coast like, no worries, man. And I always was like, I'd hear people say that, and I would go like, it was something like I'd hear, and I'd be like this. It's a weird phrase, and then like I'd kind of catch myself wanting to say it, and like I don't say that.
I would never say that.
I would never say no worries. I'm not a no worries person. Dude,
cheers, man.
Exactly.
Cheers.
It's the same thing. Like if someone to me goes, "Hey, cheers," I'm like, "Sweet."
Oh yeah, cheers, of course.
If I'm like, cheers, not even in. Somebody first.
Mine
of all,
was at.
First of all, cheers for
audience.
me. To be honest, cheers for me is like you better be trying to touch somebody's glass.
Yeah.
Someone's like, "Cheers, man." It's like.
Yeah, but sometimes people say it with nothing in regards to drinks.
That's what I'm saying.
Like no drinks.
Yeah, like cheers.
They're just like, oh, cheers.
It's like
the worst is waiters that do it. Like a bartender, or like somebody will be like, oh, cheers. And walk. It's just like, dude, you're in Philly. You're not at the fucking pub. Yo. This is the
I heard you got a spooky tale.
Now, we should turn the lights off.
We should dim them.
Can we pause it?
Sometimes.
Can we hold on? Pause it in a second. Ooh. No.
Yeah. I'm a dead high schooler.
True. You were killed at prom.
I was bullied online and I killed myself.
Drinking and driving after prom. I sped around Dead Man's Curve. Now I'm dead. Ooh, very ghoulish. Dead high school sweethearts?
Oh, yeah.
We're not even recording? That holds up.
That was killer, dude.
That was art.
That was the spookiest, dude.
Ooh, wow. That was spooky.
We just, dude, how that thing even moved. We just recorded like a minute and a half of us being like, woo, referring about I was pretending I was like a comatose, like a zombie high schooler.
Just a high school kid.
Just dead
Went
one. A
yeah,
dead high school
fingering
kid.
around Dead Man's Curve.
You know how they die sometimes and everyone like has an assembly?
And then everybody moves on.
Pretty quickly.
Real quick.
Well, first of all, this is what always pissed me off. I think we had one kid died in high school. There's this mad butt rush to like have been their kind of friend or connected in some way. It's pretty sick, dude.
It is fucked up.
Because like there's the the natural high school social hierarchy, and then there's just like when people die, there's like a disturbance in that where like I knew the dead kid for a while, and everyone's like I was friends, and that kind of like people gain some sort of weird like social momentum by having known the dead person.
You know what I don't like also is when you die in high school, you're always connected to the high school.
Yeah, that sucks.
Like I saw a kid there was like a video online of this kid, high school football player who died, and his teammates all buried him like in their uniforms. And it's like, you guys are going to move on and literally everybody's going to forget about this football team. Yeah. Like none of you are, if you are still connected to the football team, you're kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like if somebody died on my team in high school and like we all wore our Trinity Shamrock jerseys to bury them. Yeah. And like buried him with his.
Yeah. I mean, the black armband would have came off at some point. You'd have been like,
yeah. Eventually, you're just like, yeah, I forgot that kid's name.
Yeah. That would sucked. Yeah. I mean, dude. Yeah. It's definitely not. Look, if you
That's
can
not.
help,
This is more dark than spooky.
If you can help it, try to avoid dying in high school.
Yeah. If you can. Yeah.
Sucks. Dude, the thing I was listening to.
Step one: don't pick on kids.
True.
Because every once in a while you die in high school from that.
True.
Some kid takes it. He gets angry.
True. Well, it's a lot of the things that are around being cool in high school. You got to take risks, like only the cool kids drink and drive. Only the cool kids bully people who might shoot up the school. So I mean, you don't become.
Those literally are the coolest kids taking risks.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So
you push boundaries.
True.
You absolutely push boundaries. Dude. If you're crazy, bullying other jocks, nothing. Bullying a kid that like cuts himself or. His parents hit him or something.
That's good bullying.
That's an elite bully where you're really pushing the limits of bullying. You're risking the entire school's health.
Yeah, you notice someone whose life is already naturally hell, and you're like, I could probably make this worse.
If you notice they just started getting like on beta blocker, like some pills. You see
SSRIs
them. Yeah, you notice they just started.
Well, yeah, you just hear their school bags rattle, and you're like,
that's the kid I'm bullying.
Fucking this kid up.
I might be able to knock this kid into a shooting, or at least a list. At least a list.
Yeah, you just wore like a long.
You were on a list.
I was on a list.
That's a Hall of Fame list.
I was like number 4.
That's the GOATs.
I was 4.
That was the leaderboard. That was the PGA.
Yeah,
PGA leaderboard.
That's true.
You were a couple strokes back. But you could have got him with the pants.
I think I knew who was number 1. They were, oh boy.
They're motherfuckers?
Yeah, they were motherfuckers. Those guys. He also wasn't in my grade, so I wasn't around. I didn't.
You were an out of grade lister.
I was an out of grade, and I still made his list.
Were you younger?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
bullying up. Bullying up is.
I bullied up. I bullied up
on a couple kids. I think I've told it on here before.
Bullied up's fucking wicked.
Like freshman year, like one of my first days in high school, I went to the bathroom and this dork was pissing, and he was just mean.
Yeah.
I was like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, that's why you get bullied." Or it's a chicken or the egg type situation. Mm-hmm. It's like a beaten dog.
True.
Nothing. I just remembered, kept an eye on him. I remembered he was rude to me the first interaction we had, and didn't let it go for 3 years. And any chance I got to make his day worse, I did. Ooh, very spooky bullies.
Know what I was thinking about? So I'm reading The Denial of Death, and they talk about how in science we're trying to either super extend the lifespan or to make it go on forever. And they're like, either case, that only prevents us from natural or accident, or really just natural causes. So it's like you're still gonna have people. You're gonna have a guy who's like
Yeah.
700 years old, die, being like, I could have lived for like 1,200 more years.
Yeah.
Fuck. So like you're not. It doesn't matter. You can extend the lifespan.
Yeah,
to
people
like
are still gonna get hit by cars.
And then it's like now someone who dies when they're like 16. It's like, oh my god, he could have lived to like 175. This is fucking bullshit. So they're saying like this whole thing like we're gonna keep extending our lifespan. He's like, you're not gonna cure your death anxiety. If anything, you might even make it worse by being like,
True.
you know, it is pretty nuts. But that was making me laugh about
Yeah, you could
someone.
die when you were like 80, and
Yeah.
people. It's like dying in high school now.
Yeah, that's what they're
You
saying.
get remembered for like your time in
Or
America.
just accidents will just be like, oh my fucking god, that guy could have. He was only 80. He could have been 100. He was just getting started.
Man, anybody over like 70 that dies in an accident, it's how you. It's kind of how you want to go.
I think how many car accidents are there a year? Like 50,000.
Jamie,
I think if you were to do when next time you're driving, get this. Let's get the stat out here for people next time they're driving, just so you can imagine the sheer volume of just like scrunched metal.
oh
If
yeah,
you were
it's
to-
all the time.
If you were to pack a junkyard full of cars that got totaled,
What are you shaking your head at?
My spelling.
Spelling of what? That was a tough one. Car accidents? Accidents.
It was bad, yeah.
What was in there? An X?
A lot of R's.
Accident? It had R's in it?
but you just do lazy types though. Sometimes I just do like I'm like, come on, computer.
He
What
did
the
doped
fuck?
up
Yeah.
typing.
Oh yeah.
Around
He had
3
blunt
million
fingers.
people in the U.S. are injured every year in car accidents.
How many?
3 million.
3 million.
So it's got to be at least a million cars get crunched. Horrible, bad
It
enough.
says
to,
2 million drivers.
Oh, so 2 million cars.
2
2 million cars.
Damn. Yeah, dude. 2 million cars. That's a
90
spooky
people
fact.
die in car accidents every day
90?
people.
in the U.S.
Ooh.
Yeah. Next time you're like, I'm gonna drive fast. It's like,
Yeah.
you might die.
Man, you're probably wearing like a dead high schooler's jacket.
Man,
I might
have
be-
you
I
been
might
here? Have you been here for the last
No.
20
What he's
minutes?
saying is I'm being possessed by the dead. All of a sudden I've steered the conversation like, and slow down, guys.
Now, just here's the thing. Just think a mom dug her face into that jacket and sobbed before she donated it. Before she donated it to Goodwill. She put her face in there and cried so hard. And she was like, it's time to let go.
Someone pulled it from her arms like, you gotta let it go. And she was like, thank you.
Well, give it to Goodwill. Let somebody else wear it. Just cut to you being like, dead high schoolers are fucking gay.
This is so spooky.
This
dude.
is very spooky. I think we're misinterpreting spooky for just like fucked up.
Did I tell you about the
very
suicide chair
spooky.
in my old house?
You had a suicide chair?
Yeah, fucking. It was Spud's family friend or uncle's friend. It was like this, like, you know, one of those kind of things. Like, hey, Spud's like, do you mind if like my uncle's chair we put it in this? Because I had a whole house. I had zero furniture. I honestly didn't even have a trash can, so I had nothing in there. Like, do you mind if my uncle puts his chair in your house? I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's no
What'd you do
problem.
with trash? You Lemared out.
No. So what I would
just
do?
put it next
This
to
is
you.
what you do if you don't have a trash can. So I'd say I'd get Chipotle. That Chipotle bag would be my
It was a
trash,
trash
can
can, yeah.
until I got like, say, then I ordered a toaster oven. Now the toaster oven box is a trash can. Whatever the
Yeah.
biggest thing is the trash can.
Yeah, it's like a nesting doll.
Yeah.
So there's a suicide chair in your house.
Yeah. So then Spud is like, you mind if, you know, so he puts his chair in there. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then it's like, oh, that was like my mom's friend who killed herself's chair. And I was fucking terrified.
Oh.
I didn't want to give it like, hey, take it out of here. So I was just like, I'd go in every night, dude, and look at that thing and just run up the fucking stairs. It's like, it was just me by myself.
I've
in the
seen you
house.
run up the steps. It'd be fun
You
to
know
watch.
how I shuffle?
Yeah.
Dude, this was like, I was just moving as fast as I could. If I had to go downstairs at nighttime, I'd turn all the lights on. That fucking
Damn.
bugged me out, dude.
You know what this could be, this jacket? It could be like a want to be like Mike type thing, like Mike.
Yeah?
Where like maybe you get possessed with like a rocket arm. You could save the Eagles season. You might be the garbage picking. And you come from a trash empire of a family. You could be the garbage picking Philadelphia Eagle.
Dude, you just made me spit like, boogers out of my nose.
That'd be sick if you started like, and you didn't know.
And
like,
you got a pigskin?
You took your dog to the park and you're like,
I go home, my wife just begs to be fingered. I'm like,
definitely.
I got one in my car.
you got a pigskin?
We
I'll
don't
give
need
it-
him to throw
I'll
a
give it to him.
football.
I mean, I was a spiral before this, so you know. The
Definitely.
arm might be worse, if anything.
True. Maybe this dead high schooler was a noodle arm.
I'm saying compared to mine, I can chuck. I can chuck a ball. I'm so bad, dude.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm so bad at throwing. Whenever I was in like a beach situation, you got
That's the worst.
Total duck. I got hands.
Yeah,
more
you're
of a
a wide
receiver.
out. Yeah.
I'm like a tight end. At my size, I'm more of a tight end.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not tall enough.
Yeah, I'm tight end.
You're a slot wideout.
But I would only go inside.
Great route runner.
They would hit me right in the numbers.
Yeah.
As a tight end, I wouldn't go run flies or anything. Come every same play, I tell them, yo, I'm going 5 yards and busting right. You're not going to catch me. I'll go 5 yards, turn and just show them my numbers.
Quick outs.
Yeah, just get hit.
So you were nickel and diming them down the field.
100%.
You were just small play, no chunk plays.
Nope.
Nickel and diming them. Little West Coast offense in the backyard.
Exactly.
People weren't ready for that.
I'm not even no out routes. I tell my coach, I said I only run across.
What coach?
Whatever coach,
Wait, backyard?
Not even just backyards.
Oh, you're talking about in real football. You were like, look,
No, I
I'm
never
run
got
my
to
own
play
routes.
tight end in real football. I'm saying if I did.
What'd you play on offense?
I was
Line.
guard.
Yeah.
They put me at fullback a little bit.
That's nice. That's a testament to they thought you were tough.
I mean, yeah, it was no big deal.
Nice.
But yeah, no. Then I played defensive end. I also played middle linebacker.
You're a middle linebacker? You fill that Letterman jacket out nice, dude.
Come on, bro.
Just reading the field.
I'm as big as a high school middle linebacker. I'm not bragging.
Kind of are, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I peaked.
The suicide chair is very spooky. How did she die? Did anybody tell you?
I don't know. Maybe a Sylvia Plath situation.
Well, how did she die?
She put her head in the oven,
Oh,
cut the gas,
Nice.
turn off the pilot, and just kind of suck some gas. So I don't know. I don't know how she killed herself. I just know it was a suicide chair.
did anything ever spooky happen with the chair, or did you just run away from it?
No, I just ran away from it. Nothing. I couldn't.
So you're like a dog with a vacuum?
Yeah.
It's just in the room. You're like,
Every now and again, I'd be like,
yeah, you go touch it and be like,
I never sat in it once.
really?
Yeah. Never sat in it once. Never utilized the chair.
Lemaire's high, loves dog in the vacuum.
What's your spooky tale, dude?
Oh,
Let's get to it. I want to know.
very spooky. I'm just gonna read a Wikipedia page.
So you found something spooky on Wikipedia?
Yeah, every once in a while I'll look at spooky and mysterious Wikipedia pages.
Yeah.
You'll find a list of spooky Wikipedia pages.
What'd you get?
It's very fun. A lot of them are all like Cold War spies. That like you'll just find a body, and then they'll never be able to identify it. But there's all these like weird clues with it, where it'll have like coordinates in its jacket or something like that, like sewn in.
Dude, okay, so Serial made $1 million off this, and you've just been hoarding fucking like mysterious spooky
I have
stories.
really good mysterious spooky
We
stories.
should just start doing one where you just start reading spooky fucking.
What about the
Wikipedias.
Hinterkaifeck murders? The Hinterkaifeck murders.
Time out. Can we please do a fake serial where we just make up a fucking horrible accident? Just do
Yeah,
like
just
a
lie.
9 episodes. Yeah, just totally different podcast. Don't tell anyone. Just put it out and see what
Yeah.
happens. Like the mystery of like the gay chainsaw massacre. Just
Gay
completely make it up. Just totally fabricate it. Go ahead.
It's basically the Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
True.
except he would suck their dicks.
Buddy?
The Hinterkaifeck, gay Texas Chainsaw Massacre. All right.
I thought the Texas Chainsaw was real, first of all. And second of all, I
think-
thought he sucked their dicks.
Wasn't the Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of real?
Did he suck their dicks?
Based on a real thing?
He just cut their dicks off. Yeah, well, I think you're right. I think you're right. I thought you were telling me in actuality they also sucked the victim's dick and then cut them with a chainsaw. I was like, that's fucking crazy.
So if you go to this Wikipedia page, you're just going to hear what I'm going to read. So don't
do that.
Don't
dude.
do it.
Or you also get a curse where you'll get a computer virus.
You will get a computer virus, or the Hinterkaifeck murderer will come to your house, or were there multiple? Spoiler alert. Didn't get solved.
That's what happened, dude.
All right. The Hinterkaifeck murders occurred on the evening of March 31st, 1922, in which 6 inhabitants of a small Bavarian farmstead were killed by an unknown assailant. The 6 victims, Andreas Gruber, 63 years old,
Ooh.
Kazilia Gruber, 72 years old, their widowed daughter, Victoria Gabriel, 35, hot.
Nice.
Victoria's children, Kazilia, 7, hot. And Joseph, 2. And the maid, Maria Baumgartner, 44. They were all killed.
Baumgartners, huh?
Baumgartner, yep.
It's an old name. I know some Baumgartners.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They were all found decapitated.
Nice.
The perpetrator lived with the 6 corpses of the victims for 3 days at the house. Lived there for 3 days after they murdered. The murders are considered one of the most gruesome and puzzling unsolved crimes in German history.
Hold on.
Other than that other crime,
True. Is that a spooky?
according to some of our friends, is unsolved.
Unsolved.
No, it's pretty solved. It is solved.
So they had So someone got into a rich person's estate and then
No, it was just a farm. It wasn't.
Okay, this was a farm.
Yeah.
So they just went and cut. Did they cut everyone's heads off in like different locations, or they gather everybody and then cut their heads off together?
All right. So this is why it's spooky. This is what's actually very scary about it. Strange things began to occur in and around Hinterkaifeck sometime shortly before the attack.
What year is this?
1933.
Ooh,
No,
okay.
excuse me, 22.
So
1922.
when did Hitler try to make Germany great again? When was he like
All
trying
right,
to?
this is too many. He tried to make Germany great. I mean,
I was
that's
saying,
exactly
when was
what
he
he
at the
was.
height of his early powers? That's
Early,
I was
like
just
30,
being silly.
30, 36.
So this is okay. So I was thinking this was going on while Hitler was in power. It was just some weird news.
Just
They're
some
like,
wild.
And also in other news, a bunch of people got their heads chopped off, and they're like, "That's pretty fucked up. That's fucked up."
Yeah, except they're like,
You serious?
Yeah, well, we're kind of used to that.
This
It's kind of what this shit's
country's
about.
going to shit, dude. What the fuck? That's what I was getting at.
No, this is early. Less than a year after the murders, though, after the murder investigation, the farm was completely demolished, revealing additional evidence. The mattock hidden in the attic. A mattock. Do you know what a mattock is? A mattock? It's like a farm tool. It's like a pitchfork kind of thing for like
Gotcha.
loosening the ground. And a penknife found in the hay in the barn.
Little pocket knife.
Woo! All right, this is to me why it's such a spooky murder.
Yeah.
Strange things began to occur in and around Hinterkaifeck sometime shortly before the attack. 6 months before the attack, the family maid quit.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, it's too spooky here.
So he left.
I'm out of here. The maid quit.
Oh, the maid left?
Yep. It has been widely claimed that her reason for leaving was that she heard strange sounds in the attic and believed that the house was haunted.
Oh boy.
All right. So she'd gone in town, but like, that house is fucking haunted. I'm not going there.
Yeah.
Because she heard people living in the attic. Ooh.
She got caught like fucking jerking off the son and was like, "Yeah, there's fucking ghosts and shit there." So she left.
Maid's
claimed
out.
Every maid, to be fair, thinks the house they're living in is haunted. But go on.
And it's good to see that that's not just over religious Hispanic maids.
No, I had Irish. My
Also
mom's
very
aunts.
Catholic.
My mom's aunts were maids for the DuPonts, and there was a man who used to same thing every single time. So
Andreas Gruber, the geezer, he found a strange newspaper from Munich on the property of March 1922, in March of that year, and he couldn't remember buying it. So Gruber believed that the postman had lost the newspaper, and he went and then he asked the postman the next time. The postman was like, "No." So somebody was just reading the paper, probably living in the attic for a little while. This was not the case. Watch out. Oh my God. Just days before the murders, Gruber told the neighbors he discovered tracks in the fresh snow that led from the forest to a broken door in the farm's machine room. Again, someone was just like living in the woods and in their attic and reading stuff. Later during the night, they heard footsteps in the attic, but Gruber found no one when he searched the building. Although he told several people about these blah, blah, blah. I'm just reading. According to a school friend of the 7-year-old, the young girl reported that her mother, Victoria, had fled the farm the night before the act after a violent quarrel only hours later had been found in the forest. I'm not sure what they're even getting at.
yeah.
There.
I was thinking about crazy guys back then. Someone would lose their mind, and it was just
Well, this
like,
is all post-World War I German dudes.
Ugh.
So this is like dudes who had like were in the trenches for years, coming home just nuts, just living in a family's attic and hiding in the woods.
You
and
could also
shit.
go about your crazy murderous business for a while. Like nobody would know for like a while. You could saw through like a bunch of families before somebody was finally like, "Hey," like shot you. You were just going, you were just fucking murdering people.
Yeah.
Nobody was talking for months at a time.
Yeah. Well, that's why. I mean, this person lived in the house for 3
Chill.
days.
Yeah, you could put on a chill.
Yeah.
You kill
could put
someone
a
and
chill
be like,
sesh.
all right, I got about 2 weeks.
March 31st to April 1st, 1922. On the afternoon of March 31st, 1922, a Friday, the new maid, Maria Baumgartner, probably hot, arrived at the farm. Maria's sister, probably hot, had escorted her there and left the farm after a short stay. She was most likely the last person to see the inhabitants alive, other than obviously the killer.
Yeah.
It appears that late in the evening, Victoria Gabriel, her 7-year-old daughter, Kazilia, and her parents, Andreas and Kazilia, were lured to the family barn through the stable, where they were murdered one at a time.
Oh man.
The perpetrator or perpetrators used a mattock belonging to the family farm and killed the family with blows to the head. The perpetrator moved into the living quarters where, with the same murder weapon, he killed Joseph, the 2-year-old, sleeping in his bassinet, and Baumgartner, the maid, in her bedchamber.
So that was a new maid.
Yeah.
She came and was like...
New maid got murdered quick. Maid 2 got murdered quick. Maid 1 quit. Maid 1 knew.
So the maid was in the maid's chambers, the baby was sleeping, and he just fucking...
Yeah, somehow the whole family got lured into the barn.
Probably
and
wasn't
he killed
hard
them all.
back then.
Yeah, it was...
Like,
yeah, come on.
found something back here. Who are you? Be like, oh, I'm
just
from the
passing
woods.
through.
I'm from
Come
the
on out
woods.
here.
You're like, sweet.
I'm from the woods.
I live over there in the woods. I'm like, oh, sweet. I'm a farmer. It's like, hey, come check this thing out I found you. Dude, it could have been like, you know, that I found, I don't know if there were people were looking for gold back then. I think there were. He's like, yo, dude, you know you have gold in your barn, right? You're like, what? Hey,
What
who
is
are you?
this?
Who are you, feller?
We have the gold?
What? Whose are you, feller? So back then, you could definitely trick people. Or be like, hey, your daughter's down in the barn. She's fucked up.
But we don't even have a daughter.
Boom.
But what?
And there's gold. Like, oh, sweet.
And then you hit them all in the head one at a time.
Oh, imagine being like, so what's up with this? Some guy's like, ah! You're like, ah!
And then you're just standing there
Or you're not even dead
You're
yet.
like, all right, I
Just
guess
watch
I'm
him
next.
murder the rest of your family.
with a giant farm tool.
Hey, that's mine.
Oh, no. This man is heating us. Maybe it was Hitler, dude.
It was about the timetables are long.
Nobody knows who it was.
Could have been.
Could have been Hitler.
Could have been. You know, he got an art assignment back and was like, D, what the
D minus. This is unacceptable.
Did you see there was somebody who replaced, what was it? They took Mein Kampf and replaced, I believe, the Jews with like something else, and people were like, they were
Yeah, you
submitted
told me this.
portions of it.
Yeah.
It was some other word, like the patriarchy. They took Jews
Yeah.
and put the patriarchy, and then it got like
Yeah, somebody submitted it to
published
like
in a journal.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
yeah.
Very
Awesome.
funny. Very funny.
That's kind of it.
So
4 days passed between the murders and the discovery of the bodies. On April 1st, coffee sellers Hans Shurovsky and Edward Shurovsky arrived in Hinterkaifeck to place an order. They would go in there to place their coffee order.
yeah,
When no one responded to the knocks on the door and the window, they walked around the yard but found no one. They only noticed that the gate to the machine house was open before they decided to leave. Kazilia Gabriel was absent without excuse for the next few days of school, and the family failed to show up for Sunday worship because they were dead. Assembler Albert Hoffner went to Hinterkaifeck on April 4th to repair the engine of the food chopper. He stated that he had not seen any of the family and had heard nothing but the sounds of the farm animals and the dog inside the barn. After waiting for an hour, he decided to start the repair, which he completed in roughly 4.5 hours. Around 3:30, Schlittenbauer sent his son, Johann, 16, and stepson, Josef, 9, to Hinterkaifeck. It's good to send a 9-year-old out.
for sure. Just like go check on them.
Yeah, go check on a 9-year-old. Which, of course, ended up scarring the fuck out of that 9-year-old.
So he discovered the
Yeah.
bods. How
And
did
they-
nobody
yeah.
discover the bods before? How did they know the bods were there murdered before those other two people came out?
Probably an autopsy.
I'm obsessed with this case now, dude. It's
a pretty awesome case,
Pretty
dude.
tight, yeah. So the boy came out and was like,
Yeah, the boy was like, we got a problem in there. When they reported that they did not see anyone, Schlittenbauer headed to the farm the same day. All right, so the kid didn't find him.
okay.
The kids went back and said no one was there. Schlittenbauer headed to the farm the same day with Michael Pohl and Jakob Siegel.
Oh boy. Just
Never mind.
two random dudes. What
Yeah.
were they? Just his two boys.
Entering the barn, they found the bodies of Andreas Gruber, his wife, Kazilia Gruber, the daughter, Victoria Gabriel, and his grandson, Kazilia, murdered in the barn. Shortly after, they found the chambermaid, Maria Baumgartner, and the youngest member of the family, Victoria's son, Joseph, murdered in the home.
Damn.
The investigation's hilarious, too, because the people just went in and, like, chilled.
They just were like,
Like, they, like, started making food in the kitchen.
really?
Yeah, like, the investigation, everyone was just, like, let's just hang out at this house.
Free house, yeah.
Yeah,
open
they're like,
house.
nice house.
Well, what do they do? What do you do back there? I guess if you're like the governor, it's like, yo, what are we doing with this fucking house? Everyone's dead. The whole family's dead. Who gets it?
They tore it down. Rightfully so. That's a rough house to
Yeah,
live
you
in.
don't want that thing around.
Inspector George Reingruber and his colleagues from the Munich Police Department investigated the killings. Initial investigations were hampered by the number of people who have interacted with the crime scene, moved bodies and items around, and even cooked and ate meals in the kitchen. Crack detective work. Just moving the bodies and shit, eating. The day after the discovery of the bodies, court physician Johann Baptist Ameler performed the autopsies in the barn. It was established that a mattock was the most likely murder weapon, though the weapon itself was not at the scene.
He stole their mattock too?
Good for them.
Jerk.
Good for them, though, to be like, this is probably a mattock.
You think?
Yeah.
Also, this is a blank
That's pretty
slate.
good back then.
These investigators got to write whatever the fuck they wanted. They could have just been like, mattock.
Yeah, but then they found the mattock later.
Oh, they did find the
eventually,
mattock.
they find the mattock a year later when they tear the house down.
Oh.
And they were probably like, oh, I called it. I told you guys.
Gotcha, yeah.
Fucking mattock.
I didn't know they found it. I thought it was just gone forever.
Even though the weapon itself was not at the scene, evidence showed that the this is rough. Evidence showed that the younger Kazelia had been alive for several hours after the assault. She had torn her hair out in tufts while lying in the straw.
Whew.
She had torn her own hair out while she was.
Yeah, she's probably going crazy.
Yeah, it's a tough
I
one.
mean, I'm guessing this guy might have been a rapist as well. He might have. I'm not saying. I'm not. I don't want to slang dirt on my
Yeah,
man.
don't fucking.
I don't want to
yeah.
lie on my man's name, but
Yeah.
Or she just had to watch her whole family get
She
murdered.
probably watched everyone get murdered with a mattock.
Say there's a rape. There might be a rape toss in there.
No rape, but
Really?
we can say it.
Why was she? I guess she's just. Did she get like hit with a mattock and was still
I think
alive?
she did, yeah.
Okay, that makes
But
sense. Yeah.
tearing your own hair out after you watched your family get murdered, it's pretty scary. Pretty scary stuff. Laying in
Spooky
hay, very.
Yeah, there might be bugs in there.
The police first suspected the motive to be robbery, and they interrogated traveling craftsmen, vagrants, and several inhabitants from the surrounding villages.
God.
Yeah, they just went and found the
Dying
shittiest.
to pin it on him too.
Yeah.
Be like, I know you murdered this
Look,
family.
dude, we know you're a piece of shit.
I didn't murder the family.
When a large amount of money was found in the house, they abandoned this theory. It was clear the perpetrator had remained at the farm for several days. Someone had fed the cattle,
Good for him.
eaten the entire supply of bread from the kitchen.
Fuck my God.
Absolute fucking wagon did it.
Yes, dude.
Just a fat wagon. Also, who cared for the cattle, which was pretty sweet.
Pretty nice. Also,
like-
imagine eating like a winter's worth of bread. There's a motive.
And had true.
You're like.
There's a bread thief out here.
Also, wait, was it like the day? Because I think you only make bread like every 2 days. So it must have been like their daily bread. He ate a family's worth of bread.
He'd eaten the entire supply of bread from the kitchen and had recently cut meat from the pantry.
Oh.
With no clear motive to be gleaned from the crime scene, the police began to formulate a list of suspects. Despite repeated arrests, no murder has ever been found, and the files were closed in 1955. Nevertheless, the last interrogations took place in 1986, before Kriminalhauptkommissar, that's all one word, Konrad Muller, retired.
Who were they trying to jam up in '86?
I'll let you know, bro.
Oh boy. Can I guess? The maid that left.
Hold on, let me see. Let me read ahead. You guys wait.
Go ahead.
In the inspection record of the court commission, it was noted that the victims were probably drawn to the barn by restlessness in the stable, resulting in noises from the animals.
Oh, so he
was probably up in the attic, and the animals were probably going nuts. And then
Sweet move.
when the whole family came out, he was like, "You motherfuckers!"
I have this tool. Yeah, he beat
And
him
they
up with
just
the
killed him. Later attempt, however, revealed that at least human screams from the barn could not be heard in the living area. So that was false.
How'd
Some
they
guy
test
just went out there and was like, "Moo."
Wait, so he was saying like the guy stood in the barn, the other guy stood in the house, and he was like, ah!
Yeah. And then they walked back
Got
outside and
anything?
were like, "Could you hear that?"
Nope.
Did you do it? Wait, when did you do it? Here, try it again. How many times do you think they did?
Probably 2 or 3.
Yeah. On the night yeah, true. Yodeling.
Do you think he sent in the kids first, like the other guy? Like he was like, "Go check out that noise in the barn."
Oh, do you think the family went one at a time?
That's what I think. Where'd he go? That's what I'm thinking. Go see what's up with the horses. How would the Amish handle this? They wouldn't go out. They wouldn't like G-Unit up on the. They would be like, "Yo, Z."
G-Unit.
Yeah, they would be like, "Go fucking out there. Go."
True,
chill."
that's definitely a one at a time thing where, yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, "Where the
They're
fuck
like, he's
he
been
at?"
gone forever. I'm going to go out
Also,
there.
dude, when they didn't show up to church, the whole church was like, "Oh fuck, the whole family's dead."
For sure.
There was no reason to miss.
You
It's
better
like,
not miss.
Somebody would come.
And that's what Kanye's trying to do.
Basically. That way, if I miss, people are like, "Oh yeah, their whole family's dead."
On the night After the crime, 3 days before the bodies were discovered, the artisan Michael Plockel happened to pass by Hinterkaifeck. Plockel observed that the oven had been heated by someone, that person had approached him with a lantern that blinded him, whereupon he hastily continued his way. He also noticed that the smoke from the fireplace had a disgusting smell. This instance was not investigated. Nobody checked to find out what was burned in that oven.
What was disgusting?
This could have been Hitler.
It might have been hit.
No,
I got some Hitler. I got some scary Hitler facts, dude. It might bring it all together.
Doing a Halloween episode, just reading like Holocaust stories. Ooh. The spookiest thing that ever happened to humans. On April 1st at 3 a.m., a farmer and butcher, Simon Reislander, on the way home near Brunnen, saw two unknown figures at the edge of the forest. When the strangers saw him, they turned around so that their faces could not be seen. Later, when he had heard of the murders, he thought it was possible that those strangers might be involved.
It's like Crime and Punishment.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
Yeah,
He's murdered a lady, freaked out, and left all this. Or he took a couple things, that buried him.
In the middle of May 1927, a stranger was said to have stopped at a resident of Weidhofen at midnight. A stranger stopped a resident of Weidhofen at midnight. He asked them questions about the murder and then shouted that he was the murderer before he ran into the woods. That stranger was never identified.
Sick move.
Yeah, just be like, what happened? What's up with that murder? It was me. Just taking off.
It must have been so fucking hard to solve shit back then. When you're like, well, where's it? Like, here, everyone.
Impossible.
It's like, dude, I don't want to look in the woods for fucking this guy. It could be anywhere.
I'm not going to the woods.
Walk. You're like, well, he started walking a day before me, so.
Yeah, it's not doing it.
He could have went literally any direction.
So this is the one that I thought was cool as far as the suspects go. The husband of Victoria Gabriel, the woman. So it was a lady, her kid, and her parents. Her two kids and her parents.
Where's the dude?
The dude, Carl Gabriel, had reportedly been killed in Arras, France by a shell attack in December of 1914 during the First World War. However, his body had never been recovered.
Whoa.
After the murders, people began to speculate if he had indeed died in the war. Victoria Gabriel had given birth to Joseph illegitimately in her husband's absence. While he was away at war, she had Joseph.
While he was away dying at war?
While he was dying for the fucking fatherland. Victoria Gabriel had given birth to Joseph illegitimately in her husband's absence. 2-year-old Joseph was rumored to be the son of Victoria and her father, Andreas, who had an incestuous relationship.
Oh, boy.
She might have got stuck in the farm.
It's not
Nothing you can do.
Neither their fault.
Stuck cream pie.
Neither their fault.
Andreas, who had an incestuous relationship that was documented in court and known in the village. Everybody knew Andreas was piping his daughter. Pretty sweet.
That's crazy. I don't want you to go over there. You can't play.
Yeah, you can't hang out with him.
Fucks his daughter.
I'm certain that guy's been fucking his own kids.
You see the kid, you're like, no.
Damn, Andreas was a geese too. He was like 60.
Just.
He was like 60, banging a kid, banging his daughter.
So she was. I'm confused. So she was living at her parents' farm because her husband was at war.
Because her husband died at war. Allegedly. They never found his body. Imagine
that dad just being like,
jackpot. Why don't you come stay with us?
being like, ooh, boy.
Yep. After the end of the Second World War, war captives from the Schrobenhausen region who were released prematurely from Soviet captivity claimed that they had been sent home by a German-speaking Soviet officer who claimed to be the murderer of Hinterkaifeck. Some of these men later revised their statements, however, which diminishes their credibility. Many theorize this Soviet might be Carl Gabriel, because those that claim to have seen the man after his reported death testified that Gabriel had wanted to go to Russia.
What?
Yeah, pretty tight.
So this guy didn't die.
How
do you think he received word that his wife had two-timed him with her daddy?
That's pretty tough that was with the daddy.
You get the letter, he was like, what the fuck?
All right, I'm going to go hide in the attic.
This fucking bullshit.
I'm going to go hide in the attic for about a month, 6 months.
God damn.
Damn. Think about hearing footsteps above you and being like, that's probably nothing. And then one night, you and your pals get beheaded by your...
Well, that's why you shouldn't have sex with your daughter or your dad.
Yeah. And
Sorry.
you shouldn't fuck when your husband's at war, because he might come back and live in the woods for about a year behind your house, and then one night finally he's like, all right, it's time. It's
Very
go time.
possible, dude.
Especially like getting the newspaper from other places. Like they found newspapers from like Munich.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like reading the paper, hanging out.
Jesus Christ, dude. That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Very spooky.
Yeah, very spooky. That's all. We can stop there. There's
What
some
else you
others.
got?
There's some
What else
other
you got?
suspects.
Who else? I'm going to try to solve the crime.
Lorenz Schlittenbauer,
Yeah.
who I think Schlittenbauer was one of the butchers from earlier that went by the place. Shortly after the death of his first wife in 1918, Lorenz Schlittenbauer had believed to have had a relationship with Victoria Gabriel and Father Joseph. So that's the other rumor, is this guy was the father, not the... Man, so that's a tough rumor for the grandpa.
Yeah.
You know?
What, saying like he got caught?
Everyone's like, well, the grandpa kind of got cucked. Well, no, I'm saying the incestuous relationship was a rumor. Because the other rumor is Lorenz was the one fucking her.
She might, I mean...
Either way, somebody was fucking Victoria.
Yeah.
And that's what
for
everybody
sure.
in the
Or
town was
a good
really...
amount of people were.
People were
to be
worried
honest.
about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know? That's what... It's funny that all the suspects were like, he probably fucked her. that was it. Every
I think the
suspect.
butcher was fucking her. Also, as a butcher, you probably got blamed for every like, heinous, like vicious murder. They're like, it's probably that psycho who carves meat all day.
How about this? The initials LS, Lorenz Schlittenbauer, appear on Joseph's birth certificate.
Whoa.
Although these could be the initials of an attending doctor. Sometimes they did that.
Okay.
But
All right.
Schlittenbauer came under suspicion by locals early in the investigation because of his several suspicious actions immediately after the discovery of the bodies.
What'd he do?
Let me tell you, when Schlittenbauer and his friends came to the investigation, they had to break a gate to enter the barn because all of the doors were locked. However, immediately after finding the 4 bodies in the barn, Schlittenbauer apparently unlocked the front door with a key and entered the house alone. A key to the house had gone missing several days before the murders, though it is also possible that Schlittenbauer, as a neighbor or as Victoria's potential lover, might have been given the key.
Sure.
When asked by his companions why he had gone into the house alone, when it was unclear if the murderer might even still be in there, Schlittenbauer allegedly stated that he went to look for his son, Joseph. Regardless of any of the above rumor, it is known that Schlittenbauer had disturbed the bodies at the scene, thus potentially compromising the investigation.
Damn, dude.
It sounds like he did it.
That's a strong... Yeah.
For many years after, local suspicion remained on Schlittenbauer because of the strange comments which were seen as indicating knowledge of details that only the killer would know. According to reports in the files for the case, local teacher Hans E. Blogger, all these names are fucking...
Hansi Blogger is
Hans
hilarious.
Y. Blagger.
Hansi Blogger.
Hans E. Blogger discovered Schlittenbauer visiting the remains of the demolished Hinterkaifeck in 1925. Damn, he was up there just visiting the torn-down house.
Oh.
Upon being asked why he was there, Schlittenbauer stated that the perpetrator's attempt to bury the family's remains in the barn had been hindered by the frozen ground. This was seen as evidence that Schlittenbauer had intimate knowledge of the conditions of the ground at the time of the murders. Although being a neighbor and familiar with the local land, he may have just been making an educated guess. Other speculation was that Schlittenbauer murdered the family after Victoria demanded financial support for young Joseph. Before his death in 1941, Schlittenbauer conducted and won several civil claims for slander against persons who described him as the murderer of Hinterkaifeck. So good, he got paid off of it.
It's not bad. It's also funny, too. He was like, I'm guessing he was a farmer, too. So, like, dude,
Yeah.
just give us some potatoes. And he was like, I'm going to kill you guys.
Yeah,
Could
yeah,
murder
yeah.
the whole family.
That's a great, like, them trying to figure out why he did it. And they're like, probably owed child support.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
He was like, all right, we're going to need 10 tomatoes, 20 pounds of potatoes. And he was like, I think there's something in your barn.
Yeah.
Dude, so it's funny. It's actually kind of spooky that we both have Germany facts.
Yeah.
I came across, this is something I didn't know about this. I didn't know Hitler had and again, I am curious as to where this stuff comes from, but maybe it's from his base. He had like multiple women on the side, multiple side pieces. And apparently he used to have them take shits on his head. He would, all of his side pieces killed themselves.
Who told you that Hitler used to get shit on his
From the
head?
denial of death.
It was in that they were like apparently Hitler used to.
Well, they were talking about someone I guess who had like researched. They had done a thesis on it's called. I think the book was called. I'm probably butchering it. It's like Hitler's Eros, or it was like something about like Hitler's like I guess like his whatever. And yeah, they were saying he had multiple side pieces who all committed suicide, and that what he apparently, according to some of them, he would have them piss and shit on his head. That's what Hitler was into.
Really?
Yeah.
So they had the piss tapes on him.
Yeah.
He was in the hotel with Trump.
That's how I started laughing. But
They tried to compromise Hitler.
They were saying, and the reason they said that women killed themselves at one point is so funny because they were like, they were there with who, to them was like the dude in terms of like, in their world. Of like,
Yeah, of course.
They were like, this guy's, doing this and that. And then he'd be like, shit on my head. And it was so much for them to be like, this is the guy who's supposed to be making. What he's like, yeah, they're like, what?
Führer, no,
it was
Führer.
too incongruous to be like,
Yeah.
Hitler, what the fuck, dude? Like, shit on your head.
Some
no.
Scheiße?
Scheiße.
Führer, nein.
I thought it was hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Just imagine him like,
He's up there dominating, giving speeches. Everyone's like, yo, this guy's the man. And some whore's up there like, he's not that great. He's pretty fucked up. I wonder if she had a hunch that he was going to be a problem. Like if she shit on his head and was like, why everybody's cheering for him, and she was like, no, trust me, this guy is weird, dude. This is going to be bad if he wins this.
I mean, dude, you could only imagine if they could give like the full DOS on all these people of like what they're up to.
I wonder if that was good. Was that good? The farm?
Absolutely.
Very spooky.
I thought that was great. I was enthralled. I was listening to it.
There was another one. There was this lady came to this other lady's house years later and was like, my sons did it.
Yeah.
And one of them says they forgot their knife at the scene, and I guess it hadn't been released that a knife was found at the scene. So those were the other suspects.
Why did the lady snitch? She told on her sons?
Yeah, I think back then you would snitch eventually. You would just be telling people like, that fucked up thing that happened? That's my boys.
That's my boys.
My boys are rowdy.
I found a knife on him.
Found a knife. Found a pocket knife. It was probably one of my sons who did that murder. You remember how sick having a pocket knife was when you were a kid?
It's awesome.
I had so many pocket knives.
Yeah, dude, you needed one.
I had a little tiny one. I was like, this thing fucking
you needed
rules.
a blade on you at all times.
Yeah.
That was like, yeah. I mean, I got into butterfly knives. I got a little.
I never got that far.
A little heavier.
Somebody
weaponry.
just took a fucking butterfly knife out in front of me.
Really?
Yeah, it was like hammered.
What?
I'm like having a flashback of it right now.
You were drunk and someone.
Someone-
I think you told me who. Was that helium? I'm guessing.
Yeah. Who was it?
I don't know. I can't.
But I
say.
told you at helium.
Yep. Someone busted a butterfly knife out.
Yeah.
Did they have good handle? Like,
I think I remember being like, stop doing that.
if you, I don't know who it was. If you handed me a butterfly knife right now, I would stun you.
Do you know who it was? And you don't want to say their name?
No, I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I would. Oh, I'm like the old
would rat
ladies-
them out.
I'm like the old lady with her sons. It's not like I'm ratting them out. It's just it's juicy.
Truth.
It's juicy. It's truth. Veritas.
And you're more of a gossip.
It's juicy to know. Yeah, exactly.
You're a bit of a gossip.
If I know someone's walking around with a butterfly knife, I got to say their name immediately. I have suspects. But I can't think of who they. I could just slander.
Shaner's the ultimate suspect.
Shaner was my first.
he there?
I don't know. He was my first suspect. Del Calo might have had a butterfly knife. I'm just gonna
Calo?
look. If you're out here, cops, if you're out here and you see these people, do me a favor.
Del Calo does have a crime record of getting arrested.
He got caught with a knife. That's why he's top suspect. That's why he's top suspect.
Fool me once.
Shaner, I thought Shaner first in terms of butterfly knives, but like
Shaner absolutely has a butterfly knife.
yeah, for sure. Damn, who the fuck is gonna bother me now? You told me who it was, and I can't think of it. Wasn't Beezer.
I think it was a shock who it was, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I remember being like, what the fuck are you doing with it?
What are you doing?
You're not dark and twisted.
Yeah.
You gotta be pretty dark and twisted to have one.
I mean, dude, to catch me when I was 10 years old, I was dark as fuck.
Were you?
No, I just thought having a butterfly knife. I mean, yeah, the stuff I was up to was pretty fucked up.
What were you up to?
Just like blowing up fucking animals and shit. Like, like catching a fish, putting like M80s in his mouth, blowing it up.
Yeah.
Killing shit.
Oh, dude, so I was reading that entire Wikipedia while me and Tommy were watching 8mm, which is the fucking...
Said it sucked, huh?
Dude, we were going through movies. I wanted to watch 30 Days of Night, which is a vampire movie starring Josh Hartnett. Absolute hunk. Hartnett might be my number one dreamboat.
You think? Hartnett.
Josh Hartnett, dude. Something about that guy gives me the willies. Very spooky. I get very turned on by him.
I'm just picturing like there was like 90 dudes that kind of looked like him.
No, Josh Hartnett was a hunk. Nobody looks like Hartnett.
Let me see. What?
You don't think he's a dreamboat?
Josh Hartnett. You think this is your guy?
I thought when I was younger, I was gaily attracted to Josh Hartnett.
Hold on. I'm looking at some like new Josh Hartnett.
That's a dreamboat, dude. What are you, nuts?
You like the
Bro.
both.
This is a dreamboat.
That's so funny. You're
First
gay for
off,
Josh Hartnett.
bro.
Are you like young Josh Hartnett?
Josh Hartnett, dude,
gotta
that's
say,
Shrek
Richard.
1. That's a Hartnett 1, dude. That's Pearl Harbor.
So you
Hartnett.
liked when he had like a young, like clean shaven face.
Look, man, I was young.
You guys have the same facial hair.
Me and Hartnett, yeah, of course. Only true hunks have this facial hair. Damn, Hartnett was a fucking heartthrob,
So
bro.
you were thinking you wanted to watch. Hold on.
I wanted to
you
watch
daily
his
wanted
movie.
to watch the Hartnett movie.
There's nothing gay about liking a guy.
No, there's not. You're right. But that's in terms of vampire movies, that would be above like Interview with a Vampire because if you think Hartnett's hotter.
Dude, I did. All right, come on.
So you think he?
Come on. You're telling me that's not a hunk.
They can't really see
Show
it,
them.
dude. So you in terms of vampire movies, you picked them by like who's the hottest star? Because
Yeah.
would you say that movie was better than Interview with a Vampire? That's
Oh,
ooh,
true.
boy.
Who's in Interview with a Vampire? Is that Pitt?
Brad Pitt, bro.
Yeah, Pitt's a fucking dreamboat.
He's so fucking hot.
Well,
Who would you?
yeah, it's like gay to say Hartnett's hotter because that just means you like him more because Pitt's hot.
Come on, dude. Look how spooky Pitt is, dude.
He was very spooky in that, very sexual. Nothing sexy.
Oh, he's in there with Tom Cruise too. You would have got 2 hunks for the price of 1.
Cruise ain't no hunk, dude.
What?
Cruz is not a hunk.
Come on, look at that.
Cruz, you ever see Cruz's middle tooth?
What's up with
Have
it?
you seen that?
Tell me that's not a hunk.
Cruz's middle tooth is like right here. It's the craziest shit you've ever seen.
Oh yeah, it is. He has actual vampire teeth up in his like front row.
It makes no sense. I've never seen someone else with Tom Cruise teeth.
No, I
You know who wants to jerk off to Tom Cruise?
Who?
O'Connie's.
What?
O'Connor loves Tom Cruise. O'Connor's like
Who's my favorite dreamboat, man?
fucking Hartnett, bro. Although Josh Brolin's a bit of a heartthrob
I
these
might
days.
be Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson
Mel?
might be my dreamboat.
Mel
dude.
did it for you?
He's so old though now.
When I was younger, I think Mel did it for me too. I remember in the Patriot being like, "This guy, I wish this guy was my dad."
I wish this guy gave me bass when I was
That's the
little.
closest you can be. Like if you're a straight guy like me, the closest you get to being gay is just like being young and being like, "I wish I was that guy's son."
Yeah,
You know,
just so he could see my.
my dad
penis.
was not a heartthrob.
True. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'm trying to think who I would think is an absolute heartthrob.
Black Hawk Down, Hartnett. Come on, dude, he's a
Tell you Who's
jarhead.
not a heartthrob? Gyllenhaal. I don't
Jake
care
Gyllenhaal.
what kind of flack I get. I'll take the Hubie flack, but I'm gonna
The
say on
Hubie
the
flack
record,
was not deserved at all.
Hubie's-
Hubie Halloween.
Shrek one. Shrek one.
Hubie might be Shrek 1, dude. I will admit the Comey heat, Shrek 2. Comey, I thought was Shrek 1, ended up being Shrek 2.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, man. I mean,
Oh, so we wanted to watch this movie.
okay.
I wanted to. And then like 1 minute in, Tommy was like, "This fucking sucks."
Oh,
And I was like, "All right, here, you pick it. We'll
man.
watch something else.
Ruin a whole movie for
It's
me.
not a big deal. We'll watch something else." And then he was, while we were scrolling through, he was like, "Oh, fucking 8mm.
Yeah.
Unbelievable." He's like, "This movie's fucking dynamite. You're going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. I promise you're going to love it." So I was trying hard not to be a dick.
Yeah.
I was going along with it. I was like sick. I think the opening scene's like a airport in Harrisburg, and I was like, I'm in 100%. They're at HIA. But as time went on, I soon realized 8mm sucks.
Yeah.
And there's something they do in it where they were trying to be spooky. They're trying to be like edgy. It's supposed to be like a dark, what's that, noir?
Noir. Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like that where it's like fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like, yo,
Like
this
when you're
movie's-
playing zombies in Call of Duty,
Mm-hmm.
basically. Yeah.
This movie's fucked up, bro. It's
Oh, and there's
spooky.
jazz.
But then there was just scenes where they would blast like Indian music. I don't even know how to describe it. These scenes in the movie 8mm, there's scenes where it's like almost like Arabic, like
Oh, I thought you meant like, I was tripping about like Native American.
but then
music or-
also it bordered on Native American. It was just something
yeah.
that they would just blast throughout the movie. Anytime there was like a panic or they were like driving through LA, it would be playing music that you would play in like a scene if you were in like a market in India.
Yeah.
Like it made zero sense. And I
Yeah.
think they were trying to like throw you
Yeah,
off.
trying to be cool,
But
yeah.
it literally was. So then we still watch it. Great cast, by the way. Gandolfini. Cage. One of the GOAT. Cage.
Cage.
Shrek 1.
Yeah, dude. Hunk.
Not that much of a hunk, in my opinion.
No, he's not. I'm kidding.
Not a hunk.
He's not.
Not a hunk. But there's a scene, though. Like, so it's about 3 dudes that killed a girl on camera, and it was a snuff film. Mm-hmm. Very spooky. And Nicolas Cage sees the film and investigates it and tries to find who did it. And eventually he finds this dude who's the Russian guy from The Big Lebowski. Mm-hmm. You remember that guy?
Yeah.
He literally plays the exact same character.
Yeah.
He's that guy. He's a nihilist, like... We make spooky films here.
Yeah,
You've dug too deep and you found us making spooky films. And he's like in a warehouse, like shooting a crossbow at like a literal cross. And he's like, and Gandolfini's just Tony Soprano.
So he's just in there like, hey.
Yes. So
They hired me to
his
stand
character abducts children and murders them on camera and is like, hey, what are we doing here, huh, boss? Like, what? And he's teamed up with like a Satanist Russian and the Machine, who's just a guy with a BDSM mask that never talks.
Oh,
and there's a
horrible.
scene where this lawyer who backstabbed Nicolas Cage and was in on the investigation. Mm-hmm. He pulls out a gun and tells the guy, the Russian Satanist with the crossbow, he's like, put that fucking crossbow down. The Russian goes, okay, whoop. And just shoots him in the fucking chest with a fucking cross. And I was like, while we're watching, I was like, dude, this is the worst fucking movie I've ever seen. He's like, I know. He had to concede.
Really?
It was nice. It was a nice concession. That was a tough one. I was like, I cannot. I'm like, dude, this is the worst movie I've seen.
Did you put the other movie back on?
No.
You didn't give Hartnett a
I
spin?
should have put Hartnett back on and been like, now tell me you don't
You
like
should have
this.
reigned supreme, yeah.
But I think 30 Days a Night was also bad. I just saw it when I was younger.
yeah.
I'm probably just like, man, this guy's
What's
awesome.
it about?
It's a town in Alaska who experiences 30 days of night. The sun doesn't come back up for a month.
Damn.
And then vampires come. And the vampires are mean.
I
dude.
need your take on a hunk related issue.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you the originals.
It's good you're wearing a Letterman jacket for the hunk issue.
Oh, dude.
For the hunk episode? You basically look like you're on Tiger Bait.
All right, I'm gonna show you the original.
Josh Hartnett might be
I
Shrek
need to
1. I
tell-
don't care what anybody says.
Dude. All right, so these are the original brother. These are the 2 brothers who are the originals.
Those were your guys?
These are my guys.
These
is
are your
Klaus.
guys?
This is Klaus.
Oh.
This is Klaus.
Wait, this is recent, dude.
This is Elijah, dude. Who do you think's more of a hunk?
Hold on, let me see you for Klaus.
I'll give you one to Klaus. Oh, hold
Wait,
on.
this is the show, the originals?
This is the show, the originals. Yeah.
So they're vampires.
Yeah, these are
The sexiest,
the original vampires.
the sexiest monsters.
100%, dude. I mean, werewolves are like they're pretty sexy, but they're more like
Werewolves-
down to the earth.
If I had to pick a guy from Twilight to fuck, it would have been the werewolf.
You really?
Is it Taylor? Taylor, his name's Taylor, right?
Taylor Lautner.
Wasn't he fucking Taylor Swift?
There's Klaus.
Or do they just have the
Klaus
same name?
Michelson.
I'd have to get these guys' personalities. He seems like a bad boy.
He's an absolute bad boy. So okay,
But this other guy seems like the professional in the squad.
100% right.
Yeah.
Klaus Michelson's an out of control bad boy, dude. His dad would always beat
What's
him.
hotter than
His
that?
dad hated fucking vampires. His dad didn't like magic. The mom was magic. The dad wasn't. They were
Dad
settlers.
hates magic.
Hates magic.
But he
dude.
knows magic's real.
Oh, for sure.
The dad has seen
His
magic.
wife's a witch.
All right.
So, but his mom was like,
I get not liking magic if you don't believe it,
no, he's seen it.
but he's seen it.
It's an abomination, dude. He didn't know their mom like turned them into vampires to like save them. I think from I don't know, some like disease or something. And then Elijah, dude, made a promise. He let his little brother. The little brother would get beat all the time. Also, I think the dad got cucked, and the little brother was someone else's brother. But he turned a blind eye while his dad beat his
And
brother.
I have to take an oral cream pie from one of them.
Yeah,
Is what you're telling me.
yes. You want the bad boy, the psycho bad boy with
I
a
want
troubled past,
I want the
or
business
the
boy.
professional dude. He made a vow to his brother he would always protect him no
All
matter
right.
what.
If one of those dudes is holding the back of my head and pressing it as hard as they can against their pelvis, I want it to be the guy with the suit. You know?
What? Not the guy in the leather jacket, dude?
Sounds like you want the leather jacket.
I don't.
You want the leather daddy.
Nah, dude.
Who do you like?
There's a guy.
You like the black guy.
There's a guy that
You like the black guy.
There's a guy that cucks them and fucks their sister. What? Well, he doesn't cuck them, but he just like starts fucking their sister, and Klaus gets super fucking pissed because that was his protege, the black dude. Who was
Sure,
hot.
that's why he's pissed. He's like, no fucking protege is gonna date my daughter or sister. Fucking protege lover ass sister.
Oh man,
Yes, dude. The spooky episode. I can't believe how scary it is.
Oh my God, it's
Are
so
you guys
scary.
scared?
How you guys feeling back there?
Lemaire, you had some hot takes before the episode started,
do it,
and I'm
don't
not
do
sure
it,
you want to
dude.
share it with
Don't do
our
it.
listeners, but you
Don't
can.
No.
Good choice. Way to stand behind your beliefs.
I think it was one of those high epiphanies that fade away very quickly.
Damn, Hartnett on the beach.
Come on now.
Bro, Hartnett walking on the beach? You gonna
Not
tell me
bad.
he's not a hunk?
He's a hunk, dude. But
Thank you.
I wouldn't watch a movie with him. There's so many.
You wouldn't
hotter
watch a
actors.
movie with him?
I wouldn't. He wouldn't motivate. He's not hot enough to motivate me to watch his video. You know what I mean?
You ever see The Faculty?
Nah.
Pretty sick movie.
Is he hot?
He's a little young in that for my liking, but yeah, pretty hot in that. He's definitely hot. He's like he's the bad boy outcast. He's like nasty at football, but he just doesn't feel like doing it, chilling.
You've intrigued me.
Yes, this is the plot line that I believe myself to be in.
Whoa! When did I get a varsity jacket? It's crazy.
All right.
You said you didn't want to talk about the stuff that happened in Philadelphia today.
Oh, today? I mean, we can. I don't know exactly what happened. Let's get into let's close this spooky episode with police brutality. Ooh.
Well, first of all, the
I heard it on the news. I listened to my daily drive on Spotify.
this
This was NPR.
Really?
NPR told me 30 cops got injured
yeah
in Philly.
yeah. Well, this is the thing.
And that's what I was worried about, not the man that was gunned down.
That's what you're worried about.
I was like, 30 cops got hurt? No.
Well, dude. It was a weird way to wake up because I wake up. I try not to check my phone right when I wake up. Brittany pulls her phone up. She's like, "Oh my God, are you okay? I heard Philadelphia's
yeah.
crazy. Are you okay? Blah blah blah." So I have 30 seconds to be like, "Oh man, did we get attacked by I'm in my head. I'm like, what the fuck happened? This is crazy." And yeah, it turned out that guy had a knife and the cop shot him.
Cop shot a guy with a knife.
Yeah. So people all up and down 50. Apparently, someone rammed into a lady cop with a car. They were throwing bricks at people and shit. Pretty nuts. But this was the thing. Everyone was like, if you watch it, did you see the video?
No. I don't know about it.
So it was just a guy. He was walking around. The cops are running away. Dude,
Yeah.
stop. And and then when they shoot him, it's like pop, 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 pop. And the big thing is why they don't have to shoot him that many times though. And it's the one thing is first of all, have a dude with a knife run at you. And then assess. That's the situation where you're out. There's a dude with a knife running around. If there was a guy with a knife running around, I'm actually walked
Yeah,
outside.
you ever see Halloween?
Yeah, dude.
You're not going to shoot Michael Myers once.
Well, no, it's one of those things where it's well, here's the thing. You're in a residential area. There's a guy with a knife who's running towards you, and you're trying to get away. And then at some point, he's just close. The other thing too, if he were to turn around and start fucking someone else up, it's what the fuck? Whatever. So it's he starts running at you, and finally, fuck, dude, he's coming at us. He's gonna close the distance on us. If you're in a residential area and you're trying to hit, remember we're hitting those 25-foot targets?
Yeah.
How fucking hard that is?
Well, I was pretty accurate, but yeah, you had a tough time.
I'm saying that. Oh no, there's.
What do you mean?
You did a good job. I'm saying you were still to a still thing. There's a guy moving towards you with a
Sure.
knife, and you're in a residential area. You're trying to, you're trying to be fucking precise.
Yeah, but you're in a residential area filled with people you really don't care about.
You think so?
If you're a racist cop,
Come on, man.
what do you mean?
You're already indicting them.
Matt,
Indicting their character.
they're racist cops, dude.
True. No, that's true. I don't know what they look like, but dude, it's try hitting a move. Try go. They're always we need people with mental health skills.
And I know the guy with the knife was black
yeah.
because 30 cops got hurt.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That was a honky with a knife?
That'd be all right.
That's just another day.
Yeah, well, it was just crazy because it's dude, they were saying if you shoot 10 times, maybe 3 or 4 will hit the person. You know what I mean? It's a moving target. So that answers the question.
Sounds like they need to be trained better.
Yeah, but dude, how much you can't train?
Can you tase a guy with a knife?
Possibly, but that's the other thing with the one thing they can go with the cops is
I hear you.
Not all cops have tasers, so
Why?
I don't know. I think you have to be specifically taser trained. So I think a lot of them do, but it's don't quote me, but I think there's not all cops carry them.
Really?
I think yeah.
That sounds like something they should train.
True, but this is the other thing too. It's better training this and that, but it's disarm a dude with a knife.
Also,
and
yeah.
they sometimes sometimes you tase a person and it doesn't
yes.
fucking stop them.
Yeah.
So it's it's one of those things where oh, they should do this, they should do that. It's always coming from a person who's never had a person with a knife running at them. It fucking sucks. It's horrible.
It's terrible.
You'd think they'd have some sort of thing they can do, like a trank dart or something, but it's
Trank dart. Well, that's a taser.
for real.
That's a taser. I think a tranquilizer dart would take.
It doesn't. It's not as fast as
It's
the
not.
movies.
It's not. Yeah, it's not
like
a movie.
net. Some
They
shit.
should have like some Aztecs with darts.
You think, or just like a net, like
Some Jaguar
I was thinking
paws?
about that today. Like there has to be like a netting system, like you can try to do, but it's
You know,
like
net people.
I mean, it sounds horrible and shit, but it's like,
I
dude,
agree.
what the fuck? There's a guy with a knife. There's people like, oh, you should send a psychologist. It's like, there's no psychologist. I was in school.
Yeah.
People were like, and then the guy got loud and I got uncomfortable.
I
It's
actually
like,
think they sent Michael Myers psychologist.
did they?
Yeah.
Michael,
Yeah.
calm down,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, you
It
know,
didn't work. I think he shot him out of a window.
possibly.
I think the psychologist shot him out of a window. I was like, all right, words aren't working on this guy.
Yeah, like it fucking sucks, dude. But like, you know, that's to think that was one where it's like, all right, round them up, let's go, you know, smash everything. It was the whole thing's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, that was a tough one to ride on.
It's pretty,
Even in the NPR radio thing that I listened to, they were like, he had a knife, and it's like, all right.
yeah. But you know, and then there's a bunch of people filming it. Be like, oh shit, look at that, look at that. It's like, dude, maybe you know this guy better. Tell him to fucking stop. Tell him to chill. You know?
Yeah, I think he was probably beyond chill at that point.
Oh, of course.
If you're running down the street at cops with a knife,
Yeah.
you're not going to get talked off that ledge.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. But here's the guy's job who it
The
is.
net,
all right,
though.
deal with the knife guy.
The net,
Something, dude. Just
like
to
that.
stop a dude like that. Especially if it's like, all right, this guy's clearly fucked
or
up.
properly placed booby trap.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Perhaps a booby trap.
I'm saying, what are the other options?
Maybe
People
like a boxing glove spring loaded.
something, or like some sort of trap. But it's like, what are the options? It's all people being like, send a psychologist. Psychologists aren't going to go deal with a person with a knife waving it. I'm sorry, that's not. It's going to be very hard. And then be like, hey, there's a guy with a knife. Do we have any psychologists ready to run down here and like, you know, be like, so okay, I understand you have a knife right now.
Yeah.
How does it feel to wield that and you know rush
Feels
me?
pretty
with
good,
it?
huh? Pretty
Yeah.
powerful, right?
I don't know, man. That was crazy to see. You know, all the places that got broken. It doesn't make sense if you.
Well,
truly-
how big were the riots after? What happened?
Decent size. I think a bunch of stores got broken into all down 52nd Street. So it's
Fuck.
just I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy to be because people will be like, will justify it being like, well, you know, like people are just tired of it. People are sick of it. Then you look at the stores like rioted, and it's like, okay, so what the fuck? Like, dude, like the dumbest, stupidest stores get looted and shit taken from them. So it's like, what the fuck's that have to do with anything? It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. But you know, I don't know.
Ooh, very
Well, it's funny
spooky,
because
very
it's like right now, white people
scary thing
white
to
people have like
discuss.
a mile-long to-do list. It's like white people, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. It's like, I don't know. You don't think there's a flip side of that too? It's like, all right, I'll do all this stuff, but like, maybe consider, and everyone's like, blah, 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 and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
You know, maybe don't fucking do that.
For sure.
Or just come out and be like, hey, I'm a leader in this community. No, like that's retarded. That's so stupid. Stop. And like I don't see it that much, to be honest. Like a unanimous, like, dude.
Well,
what the
that's
fuck?
exactly what I was talking about with Dez, where I was like, you never see that.
Yeah.
And he was like, exactly. You never see it. It happens.
Yeah.
The news never covers it.
That's
The
what I'm
news
saying.
isn't going to
Crazy.
cover the people marching in Chicago to stop Chicago's violence.
Yeah.
Like when people always point to Chicago and they're like, "Oh, Black Lives Matter." I thought, "What about Chicago?" He like as soon as I said that, he got in my ass about it, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Here's what's happening in Chicago. People are trying to fight that. The news will never cover it.
Why? That's
It'll
what I'm
never
saying.
be a news story."
Why not?
Dez and I came to the exact same conclusion. The news is trying to split us up, dude.
That's fucked
They can't
up.
have us united.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. Like there are, I looked into it. There are like marches and groups in Chicago being like, yo, we need to stop this. This is crazy. And the news will never report on that.
It's fucked.
They'll be like, here's a bunch of people that broke into some convenience store as an excuse after a guy got shot.
For sure.
They're shitty people. And that wasn't fucking civil rights leaders breaking into a fucking convenience store.
Oh, that's the other thing too. You have like you have actual gangs in Philadelphia. So then like stuff goes to shit, and then there's gangs who are like, oh dude, let's fucking we can make so much money doing this thing.
Yeah.
But you know, it all gets lumped in. But that just fucking crazy, man. It's so fucking stupid. And it's just like, you know, I don't know. People are just like, well, people are had enough. It's like, all right, that's a weird way of looking at it.
Yeah, and it's a yeah. This is very.
I don't wanna- yeah, I don't
these
wanna
are
fire you up.
spooky topics.
I know, but
it is I wouldn't say convenient, but for the Democrats, it's a relatively convenient time for a race war to start.
Yeah.
And I hate to say race wars. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but it's like, I mean, Ferguson and stuff happened under Obama, all that, but didn't catch. Nobody supported Colin Kaepernick back then. Nobody supported the people in Ferguson back then. As soon as the Republicans in office, all of a sudden the Democrats are fully supporting every one of these.
Yeah.
Rightfully so in a lot of these cases, but it becomes advantageous for like AT&T to be like, yes, we're with you. Anything to make this country more unstable. I'm not sure. I don't know where I'm trying to finish this. But they weren't getting corporate support until a guy who wasn't one of their guys was in office. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's the weirdest thing too to me is how there's like full political, moral, corporate support right now for a lot of different
Dude, I was
shit.
walking down the street in
Fucking
New York
crazy.
and there was just a huge like vote sign, like just like taped against the wall. It wasn't one of the. It was one of those like a bill that was posted on the, like, you know how the fuck those things are. There's green construction walls everywhere in New York. I was walking, it just said vote the whole way down this block. And then I looked closer and it was like Sony. And I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Just a thing that says vote everywhere, brought to you by Sony.
Well, if you paid for a bunch of money to get a certain guy in, and you're like, hey guys.
Yeah, but even then, it's like, even if they didn't, I don't know if Sony's in Biden's pockets, but it's just, it looks good for Sony, I guess, to be like, vote. Yeah, we said it. We're one of the good ones.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's fucking weird, man. I saw billboards similar to where it's like I have like a corporation being like, "We're good. Are you guys good?" And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like you would go steal. You're like buying up the water in third world countries. Like, go fuck yourself, dude.
But go vote.
Yeah, true. Sorry, that was just, it's just annoying for me to be like, oh, this is how a person should handle a life and death situation. It's like, well, what do you do? And they're like, oh,
yeah, for sure.
I work in a cubicle. It's like, shut the fuck up, man. It's like,
true.
It's like not even like you can have an opinion on how people should do stuff, but like to be like, they should do it better. It's like, oh, what's your specific idea?
Yeah.
Send a psychologist. That's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
But yeah, it's just annoying to be like, I would do this. Like, no, you would. Have you ever had a person come at you with a knife?
Yeah.
I've had a person attack me with a knife. The one time I just froze. The other time was just like circling a table. Like
with a knife?
High school, I like fucked with the kid so bad that he was like, I'm going to get fucking.
Yeah, you were an elite bully.
No.
You bullied up?
We were fucking around. We were like, I was at a New Year's Eve party and I was talking shit. Just fucking with this guy. We were like playing cards or something. And I think he eventually grabbed a knife and I was like, oh, come on. And then,
come on, man. Come on.
I was at a table between me and I was like, oh, come on.
Would you have shot him if you had a gun?
If he had gotten close enough to me, I might have. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Well, there's a rule too.
It would have been better if you had a net, though.
I'm thinking of a practical, like, so okay, so there's these guys, you go down there, you're like, because it is a big difference. If there's someone who's like, maybe, I don't know, if there's someone's crazy and you're like, all right, there's a crazy dude down here. You see him all the time just going nuts. And like, yeah, if there's someone who's like, holding up a whole building, like, nah, I'm not letting anyone out, who's like consciously robbing a building. It's like, all right, like, fucking shoot that guy. But it's like, if you have a guy who's just fucking nuts right now, it's like they should be able to figure out some way to like, neutralize that without having to murder the person. But it's like, how do you do? Again, that guy has a knife, so it's like, who wants to be the one to be like, easy, man? You're like, oh, god damn it. So it's like, it just sucks. It's a shitty thing to try to figure out.
Certainly is.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just me and Kanye. We're big idea guys.
I know you are.
That was the best thing I could come up with. I was like you'd have to have some sort of like something, rubber bullets. Then it's like, dude, you start shooting rubber bullets with somebody, and then you piss off a guy with a knife, and you're like, oh, my real gun. He's like, plonk, and you're like, god damn it. So fucking sucks.
True.
But the video shit. Video sucks, dude.
Why?
You just you see the cops like stop, running away, and like the mom's like stop, trying to stop her son, and then they're just like, I guess he closes the distance. The cops are like, boom, 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 boom.
Dude,
boom,
the
boom.
one in Lancaster had one, and it was the same thing. A dude like came out of a house like holding a knife, like he's like ah. It's like, all right, well that was.
Did they kill him?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was the.
And the cop was running away again. Was like, oh fuck.
They ran. They were running, and finally the video I saw. And finally they stopped and like, dude, stop, and he just fucking bum rushed. And they're like, no, and then he gets hit. And here's mom. It's just it was just terrible, horrible, dude. It's absolutely horrible.
Yeah, his son probably was having like a fucking mental breakdown. He wasn't mad at the cop.
No,
the
I
cop
think
did nothing to him. He was just going nuts with a knife.
No, he was bugging out on his family, and they called
Yeah.
the cops like, we have a domestic.
I think that's exactly what happened in Lancaster.
Really?
This guy was in a house. The cop was outside the house. This guy just bursts out of the door. And I don't know if riots broke out, but definitely protests and stuff broke out in Lancaster when it happened. And then they released the body cam footage, and there was like a frozen, like they freeze framed it of just a dude running like with a butcher's knife, and it was like, all right, well maybe this one, you guys did the right thing.
Terrifying. Yeah, I mean, dude, imagine if the worst part is like you're in your house and your kid just busts out a knife and starts freaking out, and you're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, that's such
Then
a
you got to call the
fucking
cops, and then they
horrible
kill your
situa-
son. And it's like, I
horrible
shouldn't have called the
situation.
cops.
Horrible situation.
Yeah.
And then that whole situation gets like, he was right, he was wrong. My team is good, your team's bad. And it's like, Jesus Christ, guys.
Jeez Louise.
Horrible. Like, to just be like, they're the bad ones, they're the good ones. It's like, this is a fucked up situation.
No, this is a horrible situation where a guy clearly with mental issues freaked out.
And then there's a mom being like, did I fucking inadvertently kill my son now? Like, should I have done that? You know, it's like, you're just like, they're wrong. The problem is that, and it's like, dude, you go around just go around for a year and go answer domestic disturbances with or without a knife. Yeah. I wouldn't want to walk into someone else's argument. I'd be like, if I had to walk in where like, people were fighting, like a couple was fighting.
That's nice though. Damn Letterman jackets with the front pockets.
Oh, this is fucking sweet.
That is sweet.
Yeah, I don't even walk into like an argument, but it's like, oh, this guy has a knife. I'm immediately like, fuck, dude, this is gonna be terrifying. Oh. The whole way over, you're driving.
I think we talked about that couple that got shot in Arizona. That was like, it was a reported domestic dispute. They were playing Crash Bandicoot loudly in their apartment complex. Somebody called the cops. When the cops came, they were on both sides of the door, and the husband answered the door with a gun behind his back because they knocked on the door at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So he answered the door with a gun behind his back, and he was like, hello? And they were like, what's going on there? He's like, everything's fine. But then the other cop saw the gun. He was like, he's got a gun. And the dude standing at just fucking point blank.
Damn.
Just crazy. They were honks, though, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, they're just like... Just another unfortunate episode of playing Crash Bandicoot.
Just
too late.
White people playing Crash Bandicoot. Nothing to see here.
Oh, God damn it. You just shot him in the neck. He's like, shit.
What level were you on? It's even a greater tragedy. You were almost done. All right.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that was just weird to wake up to being like, oh my God, did something crazy happen? I mean, it was fucked up, but I thought it was like the city was attacked, or I was like, I went to the
me and Beezer were on the way to New York. We were on the way to Philly from New York this morning, and they were like 30 police were injured and Philadelphia. And I was like, Jesus Christ, 30 cops got hurt. That can't be right?
Yeah, I mean, no,
30. That's high.
Well, you have a lot. Okay, so it's a unionized environment. So
we're talking stub toes.
There was everyone got checked out. If you had like a I mean, then again, people are getting bricks thrown at you and shit.
Yeah, true. That would
and
hurt.
it's like, this is my job, and now like I'm showing up to work, and I'm like, you're seeing it more and more. People getting like bricks thrown at them and like getting spit on. You twist your ankle or your little thumb injury, you're like, I could use a couple weeks, and the whole culture is based on like chill.
I bet they need to sit out in the next couple weeks. Shit could get a little wild for the police.
Oh yeah.
Police are gonna have a rough fucking winter.
They'll stop calling it. They'll stop calling it. They'll stop going or stop responding, and then the murders will increase.
Yeah.
Because again, it's not like the whole thing gets kind of coupled in with like there's like criminal life in the inner city, and then they'll say like the black community, and they fuse the two together, and then it's like there'll be a horrible thing that happens. Then you'll have people who are career criminals who are violent who will just go, oh, sweet, the cops haven't been coming around. Go kill that motherfucker. And then another person killed, so it's like, they call it the Ferguson. I don't know if it's right or not. They call it the Ferguson effect. How the crime just like goes fucking nuts right after these things.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
Perfect.
Sweet. Yes.
Very.
Ooh, very spooky end to that. That was very scary.
Well, it was scary.
I was scared. I was scared to talk about it.
Scary topic.
Ooh.
Scary topic.
What's spookier these days than white guys discussing police brutality?
Can we put a CGI jack-o'-lantern in right now?
Yeah, please. Can you guys? Yeah, give it. Please, please include some bats and black cats, stuff floating around the entire episode.
My whole point is we all have some work to do. That's my whole point.
That's
we all got some fucking.
That's
work
racist.
to do. Look,
we all have work to do.
We all got work to do. I'm serious.
Don't try to pass the buck. You're a cis
I'm not
white.
passing the buck.
You're a cis
I'm not
white
passing
male.
the buck. I got my list. I got my little list. Like, you must. I'm like, all right, you guys got it. I have a couple qualms with them. I'll work on it. Where's my,
Nope.
What?
Now's your time to listen.
I mean, dude, it's not like, it's not at like people.
No,
it's not
fuck
one of
with
those things like you're this, you're that. I just like this whole thing of like the victim complex of being like, oh, we're totally all at once under siege. Like, no, it's fucking dude with a knife who's freaking out got shot. It fucking sucks. But it gets channeled into this thing like we're all under attack, and it's like, I think there's a psyop. If the white people have the psyop of like, there's like white supremacy, like we're the best. I think black people got inadvertently psyop to be like, we're like somehow put into the worst position. We're always the worst. We're always this, and it's like, yeah, maybe that has to go too, man. That's all I'm saying. Maybe it's not a concentrated thing. It's just some guy with a knife got fucking shot.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all.
Yes.
That's
How old was he? 28.
How old was he?
28.
Was he 28?
No, I have no idea.
I don't know. Whatever.
All right. Thank you for listening to this very scary episode. And don't read that Wikipedia page because that's literally all I did. Woo!